Okay, folks, so this is the task that you've got to work on for this lesson, where you're going to be duplicating this but modifying it so it's suitable for your own holiday planning. One of the things I just want to point out is that for yours, you are not going to be travelling from Launceston. It's going to be travelling from Hobart. Now, there are a few things we need to make sure you've got some skills in before you're going to be able to do this task. I'm going to take you through some of those. The rest of it is going to be based upon you doing some research and figuring out the location you want to travel to and finding some accommodation and activities you're going to be involved in. So the first of the skills will be to make sure that you can handle basic text. So I'm just going to use this part of the screen to show this. So if I put in a sample, I'll just use that sample text. You can see that that fits quite well within that single cell. And just a reminder that we will call this cell M6 because it lines up with this column and over with the row that has the 6 on the side of it. Now, that's fine, but if we want our text to be larger or more text there, then that's where we start having issues with it traveling across the line here. So I'll do another sample text number 2. And you'll see that it pushes over, and that's fine. It doesn't cause us an issue initially, but where we start having a problem is if I then click on this cell next to it and I type in something else. And in that case, you can see how it has gone over the top of this writing. So sample text, if I click here, up on this part of the screen, you can see the original text, but we can't see it down here. So what I'm going to do is delete this another text box, all right, the stuff that's in N8, and get rid of that. And we can see our original writing again. But what we can do is highlight, left click and drag over both of these cells. And there is an option up here that's called merge and center. Now we can click on the little drop down arrow and there's a bunch of different things we can do with our merging, but I'm just going to go merge and center. And that has now made that one large cell, which means that I can't accidentally type over the top of it with the cell that's next door. I can go through and change some of my basic formatting of my writing, so I can make my text larger. All right, and so when I click off that, you can see now I'm missing out a little bit on both ends of that. So that's where I may actually want to select this cell and left click and drag over. So I'm actually doing more of these. And I'm going to select merge and center, which will disable that. You can see how it's all gone back to single cells again. Select those and merge and center again, and it's combined them all together. So now I've got one large giant merge cell that goes from L8 all the way up to O8. All right, so that's merging now. We've gone through how to adjust our text size, but we've got all these other options over here which allow us to do some basic formatting. So if I want to change the color of my text, then I can go down into this tool here, so where it's got the letter A. All right, you can see that's now made that an orange color. I can also change the background color of this entire cell by clicking on the paint bucket. So if I made that a light blue, then we can see that that has impacted that cell. Okay, so we've gone through, we've changed our text size, we've changed our text color, we've changed our cell color. The last thing I need to show you in this video is just how to put in borders. Because if you look over here, I've got borders around most of my areas, like these either chunkier black lines or skinny black lines here. Whereas I don't have any black line going around this cell over here. So if I select it, and then I've got a whole bunch of different border options. And you can experiment with those a little bit, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to select the thick box border. And then when I click off it, you can see that that still has that nice border around there. So that was it for this skill development video, just to make sure you've got the basics of it. So good luck, and just remember to keep on asking for help if you get confused with any of the aspects of doing the spreadsheet.